Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group 9. My name is Nur Fatin Ishira binti Sahabudin and my group member is Nur Syafiqah binti Yahya, Yasmin Nur Zahirah binti Mukhtar, Nurul Syafiqah Jannah binti Muhammad Nur, Sharifah Syaurah Idina binti Said Sufyan dan Nur Izarahani binti Rodani. Our title for this assignment is Evaluating the Impact of Sustainable Sourcing Strategies on Supply Chain Performance. Next, I will present the background of the study. Today, supply chains face increasing pressure from government, customer and stakeholders to be more environmentally and socially responsible. Because of this, companies are no longer focusing only on cost and quality when choosing suppliers. Sustainable sourcing means selecting suppliers that follow ethical practice and reduce environmental impact. It is an important part of green supply chain management. In theory, sustainable sourcing should help companies manage risk better and improve overall supply chain performance, especially in the long term. Okay, next we move to issues and finding. For the theory, this slide explains the theory on why sustainable sourcing should improve supply chain performance. First, sustainable sourcing helps reduce supply chain risk. By working with responsible suppliers, companies can avoid problems such as disruptions, legal issues, and reputational damage. Second, sustainable sourcing improves supplier performance. Close collaboration with suppliers helps improve quality, delivery, reliability, and consistency. Third, sustainable sourcing increases operational efficiency. Better transparency and information sharing is allow companies and suppliers to coordinate better and delivery on time. Lastly, sustainable sourcing supports long-term competitiveness and market access. Companies that follow sustainable requirements can meet regulations and remain competitive in global markets. Overall, the theory suggests that sustainable sourcing strengthens resilience, efficiency, and long-term supply chain performance. I pass to the next presenter.
Okay, next I will continue the part of issue and finding. The second point is the reality. They have a digital capability and compliance burden on suppliers. Many suppliers are required to develop new digital capability to meet sustainability data, monitoring, and compliance requirements. This slows down sourcing processes and increases operational burden. When suppliers do not see clear value returns, compliance creates backlog and efficiency instead of supply chain optimization. In addition, limited visibility in multi-tier supply chain. Sustainability risks mainly occur at Tier 2 and Tier 3 suppliers, where firms have weak control and poor data quality. As information moves upstream, enforcement and monitoring become less effective. This limits firms' ability to ensure compliance and optimize supply chain continuity across the entire supply chain. Besides that, uneven adoption across suppliers. The large supplier with more resources can adapt quickly to sustainable sourcing requirements. Smaller suppliers often experience sustainability as cost pressure or administrative burden. This increases the risk of supplier error, reducing supply chain flexibility and resilience. Last one is the gap between sustainability policy and actual practices. Although companies adopt sustainability frameworks and code of conduct, implementation in contract and supply management remains weak. Governance systems such as monitoring, collaboration, and control are incomplete, especially beyond Tier 1 suppliers. This creates a gap between state sustainability goal and real supply chain performance improvement. The last point of issue and finding is regulatory and market trend. The first one is shift from voluntary to mandatory sustainability compliance. Sustainable sourcing is no longer voluntary due to regulation such as the EU Deforestation Regulation (EUDR). Companies must prove that products are deforestation-free through due diligence and traceability. Sustainability has become a basic requirement for market access, not a competitive advantage. Besides that, increased due diligence and traceability requirement. Regulation require firms to collect detailed supply chain data, assess risk, and monitor suppliers across multiple tiers. This increases administrative and technological pressure on firms. As a result, sourcing decisions are now heavily influenced by data availability and compliance capability. In addition, change in supplier selection and management practice. Companies are changing supplier portfolio by accepting only EUDR compliant supplier. Supplier monitoring, training, and capability development have become necessary to meet regulatory demands. This reshapes suppliers' relationship and increases coordination effort across the supply chain. Furthermore, greater use of technology and data systems. Firms are investing in traceability system, data management platform, and digital sourcing tools. These technologies are required to ensure transparency and regulatory compliance. However, they increase system complexity and implementation costs. That's all of my part, and next I will pass to next presenter.
Now we move to the problem statement. Many theories suggest that sustainable sourcing should improve supply chain performance by enhancing flow management, reducing risk, and strengthening supplier relationships. However, in practice, organizations often fail to achieve this expected outcome, while sustainable sourcing aims to mitigate environmental and social risks and ensure stable supply. It frequently conflicts with traditional supply chain objectives such as cost efficiency, speed, and operational simplicity. In reality, sustainable sourcing introduces higher costs, increased administrative work, and greater operational complexity, which can lead to underperformance against traditional priorities. Companies are also under growing pressure to demonstrate traceability and regulatory compliance, requiring extensive data collection across multi-tier supply chain. However, limited supplier visibility, inconsistent data quality, and varying supplier capability reduce supplier reliability and disrupt lead time. These challenges are especially significant in global, commodity-based supply chain where sustainability risks lie far upstream. As a result, companies face the critical challenge of balancing sustainability compliance with operational efficiency, resilience, and long-term competitiveness.
Next, past research evidence. Past research show that sustainable sourcing can improve supply chain performance when it is properly integrated. Trompelis and Kopanaki found that alignment with organizational capabilities and digital technology is essential. Altia's studies confirm that sustainable supply chain practices enhance organizational performance and competitive advantage. Aslami and colleagues highlighted supply chain agility as a key factor in translating sustainable effort into financial performance. However, Kumar and colleagues pointed out that inconsistent performance measurement often limit the ability of firms to demonstrate clear improvement. Overall, the literature suggests that sustainable sourcing improves performance only when supported by integration, digital readiness, and clear metrics.
Sustainable sourcing will soon become mandatory, not optional. Companies will face stricter regulation and due diligence law across global market, requiring better traceability and transparency of supplier. Climate risks also impact supply availability and cost, making sustainability part of risk management. Digital tools will help companies manage compliance and supply data. Those with flexible compliance systems will gain a competitive advantage. For managerial recommendation, sustainability should be integrated directly into procurement decision. Environmental criteria must be included in supplier selection, tender specification, and contract evaluation. Suppliers should be segmented by risk level, where high-risk suppliers need stricter due diligence and development, while low-risk suppliers require minimal monitoring. Companies should move beyond audit by focusing on collaboration and long-term partnership. Finally, a balanced performance measurement system should be used, combining leading indicators like traceability with lagging indicators such as cost, delivery, reliability, and disruption.
In the future, supply chain optimization will rely on industry-wide collaboration rather than individual firms. Standardized data across industry will improve consistency, transparency, and decision-making. Shared traceability infrastructure will enable faster and more efficiency tracking of sourcing and material. A cooperative compliance ecosystem will reduce costs and improve trust among the supply chain partner. Joint supplier assessment and common reporting template will minimize duplication and administrative burdens. Improve and interoperability of traceability system will allow seamless data sharing across supply network. This change will reduce supplier reporting workload while improving data comparability. Ultimately, industry-level optimization will enhance sustainability performance across entire supply chain. In conclusion, sustainable sourcing enhances supply chain performance while reducing operational and reputational risks. However, these benefits are only achieved when sustainable is fully integrated into core business operation rather than treated as a compliant requirement. Viewing sustainability as a strategic capability is essential for a long-term success. Strong supplier collaboration, support digital system and effective governance plays a critical role in implementations. Although cost and complexity present challenges, proper management can minimize this limitation. When embedded effectively, sustainable sourcing becomes a sustainable competitive advantage for the organization.